This is Atlas gameplay. And depending on who you ask, it's either peak Warframe design or the most boring frame in the game. So why do many players hate Atlas when Atlas mains absolutely adore him? It basically boils down to the same reason, actually. Atlas mains adore him because punching things is fun, and players that hate Atlas hate him because it's a one-button frame, essentially a punching simulator. Atlas gameplay usually goes the same way every time. You press U3 petrify. When you petrify an enemy, they drop healing rubble when they die. This is incredibly important for Atlas. It's his whole mechanic. Once you get to 1400 rubble, so long as you have on his passive Augment mod, your Landslide costs no energy, deals 2 times damage, and travels 2 times faster. Essentially, the moment you hit 1400, you can spam without cost, with extra damage, and no fucking consequences. So what's not to love about that? And if you have on his Landslide augment, Path of Statues, leave a trail for 12 seconds that petrifies enemies for 6. Essentially, the moment you kill those enemies that were petrified, you get Landslide rubble once again, meaning essentially your 2, 3, and 4th abilities no longer matter, meaning Atlas has 1 ability and 3 helmet slots. So he is quite literally a punching simulator that revolves around 2 augments, 3 if you want to put in ore gaze to receive some additional loot, but normally quite literally just 2 augments, 1 for his passive, 1 for Landslide, and then you get up to 1400 rubble as quick as possible, and then you spam A without any energy cost, building up those stacks and dealing exponentially more damage every time you hit an enemy, while you remain immortal every time you cast the ability, because every time you cast the ability, he is invulnerable for each duration of the cast. So that means so long as you're punching, it is impossible to die, and you get to punch for free once you hit 1400 rubble. So what do people hate about Atlas? Essentially, it's that he's a one-trick pony, spam casting A. And what do people love about him? It's that he's the best brawler in the game. It's incredibly satisfying. The sound of the punches gliding through enemies whenever you want, the building of the damage, it's all super satisfying. Now, this is quite literally the only reason I could find that people don't like him. It's because he's a one-trick pony. Is it fair? Kind of. Atlas is incredibly powerful, but very poorly designed, with his second ability being situational at best, providing minimal security and just not having any usefulness, really. It's probably the most subsumed slot. You could trade it out for anything else. Then you have Rumblers, which have low survivability, poor AI at best, and bad scaling. And the only good thing about them is that when they do end up dying, inevitably they drop healing rubble, and again they do draw in some aggro, which I suppose you could say is a net positive, but other than that, the Rumblers are just as useless as his second ability. And so with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. I am curious to hear, what do you guys think about Atlas? Do you love him? Do you hate him? Is there some form of contention that I didn't realize? Is he loved in different ways, or is he hated in a vastly different way than I even heard? And with that being said, until next time.